Cerebral or lack thereof, Business Unit 3 came out with the results for their most recent community implementation art competition. This time, it was hairstyles which they will eventually add to the game. Add to the game with a massive fucking asterisk because it will take them 26 years to add like 2 of them to the game. It's fine. At least the game isn't developed by Mojang, even though we are slowly encroaching on that Mojang type development event horizon. So, what's the beef? What's the drama? What's the tea, my sisters? Well, Twitter, the usual suspect, is quite unhappy with some of the entries, and there's a few reasons why. And the reason I'm talking about it is because I low-key agree. But first things first, I do not have beef with any of the artists that have won. I am happy for them and I think they deserve it, and I have nothing against their work. But there is always a but. I do have some problems with how CPU3 does things. A lot of the hairs picked for the winners this time around feel very samey to something we already have in the game or to other entries picked. Like, do we really need 12 different K-poppy e-boy hairstyles that are almost exactly the same or give off identical vibes? Or this Karen-like hair which we basically already have? I feel like, and correct me if I am wrong, it would be a good idea to add more hairstyles that are very different to things we already have to give people more choice. Like, I don't think most people want 5 variations of the same hairstyle, but rather have 5 drastically different looks to pick from. Because all these small variations are honestly like, who fucking cares? The game runs at 480p anyway, so you can't even really see the fucking changes. You feel me? This is mainly a problem with male hair though, and most people who play male characters are e-boy bun lad enthusiasts who will lose their mind over Korean Poppington anyway. So I guess no one will complain. Feminine hair has a similar problem, maybe less drastic. A lot of hairstyles chosen are exactly the same as the hair in the game, but they are very close to them in style and are in the same-ish vein. Maybe this is something that nobody even gives a flying shit about, but I just feel like giving people more avenues to express themselves with things they actually relate to and fit their character for an MMO is kind of the whole reason why MMOs even have detailed customization in the first place. If I didn't care about this sort of thing, I would play an actual good game like OSRS. Picking 2 hairstyles where the only real difference is like 2 inches of hair length feels weird. Especially, and this is a big fucking especially, if you're deciding to add more entries because, quote, there's too many good hairstyles, end quote, and then you pick very similar ones. This seems very counterproductive. And it also feels even weirder adding more winning entries when you're not guaranteeing any of these hairs will actually make it into the game. It's not like the weapon competition where it will get added. They can realistically add none of these. They don't care. But I guess adding more winners doesn't really mean anything when your rewards for winners are a pile of shit on a lollipop stick. So I guess nothing in this world really matters. We're all gonna die anyway, so might as well meteor on ourselves and not waste any time. Okay, so to better illustrate my point, I decided to actually bring up some examples to make it, to actually give some visual clarity on what I'm trying to say. First of all, the Karen hair. It's obviously not exactly the same, but the vibes are very much like, this is basically like the same type of vibe of hair. Like, if you wanted a Karen hair, you have one. Like, you don't need another one, which is basically like very similar vibes. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Let's go. First of all, there's like all these hairs that like I've highlighted here, which all look very fucking similar. They're very similar. But then if you go here, look at this one and look at this one, and tell me this isn't the same fucking haircut. This is exactly the same haircut. This is exactly the same fucking haircut. I don't know if you're looking at the same thing, but this is literally the exact same fucking haircut. Initially, I brought this one out to be like, oh, look how similar these two are. But look at how similar these two are. They are essentially the same. Also, this one. It's the same hair, except this one has fluff here. This one is fucking shaved. That's legit the only difference. It's the same fucking hair. It's the same fucking hair. You really could have just had one of these. This one, the fluffy little bastard, which this fluffy little bastard is honestly very similar to these fluffy little bastards. Also, these like, oh, fucking over the hair, emo, edgy boy thing. This is like the slick one. This is like the more rough one. But this could also just be one hair. Like, we don't really need that many slick, edgy boys, considering we also already have like emo, edgy ass fucking hair anyway. Fucking stop moving, you dog. Look, also, like, for the females, it's less apparent and it's harder to find good examples. And there's actually more in there that I could bring up, but it's harder to find. And I don't want to spend 20 hours looking for, like, the FF15 hairs. This one, it's like very similar in the vibes. The only difference is like there's a top bun here with some hair down, and this has all the hair in like a little big bun. They're very similar. Okay, this is probably not as good of an example, but there's like other examples that are just like way more egregious than this one. I just have to actually look through the FF14 hairs and actually find examples of it in the actual FF15 hairs that exist, and I'm too lazy frankly to do it. The current hair, like, unnecessary. These two lads, it's very similar. This is the exact same hairstyle. What's the corporate wants you to find the difference between these two pictures? There isn't a difference between these two pictures, okay? They're the same one. This one is essentially this one. Like, why are we adding extra winners and then doing 3 of the same hairs? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Look at this shit. Fucking sexy lad 1, sexy lad 2. Even more examples. Look at this shit. This is very similar to a hair we already have in the game. There's like 4 of these hairs already in the game. So like, why are we adding another one? This is almost exactly the same as that one other hair. Like, what do you got? Like, maybe I'm delusional, okay? Maybe I'm delusional and these look very different, and maybe I'm making a big deal out of nothing. Stop fucking moving, you dog. To me, this is a joke. I have no beef against the artists who designed these hairs. It's just like they both designed very similar hairs, and just pick one of them. Like, you're not giving them good rewards anyway. It's not just like a thing, oh dang, both these guys' hairs are so good, I want to give both artists the credit or recognition or like the rewards for it. Woo. No, your rewards are a piece of shit on a piece of shit in like a sandwich formation, okay? Just shut up, just pick one, stop wasting our time. I'll use this next part of the video to highlight some really cool hairstyles I've seen people posting that didn't win, while I address a few other things. A bit of discourse I've seen is people saying that some of these cool hairstyles that didn't get picked because they didn't use the Square Enix provided template, and that is part of the rules to use it, and I only have one thing to say: shut up. It's my job to spread misinformation on the internet. Why the fuck are you making me correct your dumbasses? As someone who actually read the rules, Square stated something along the lines of you can use templates, but you don't have to as long as the proportions of your base fit the FF14 proportions. So essentially, as long as you don't have a weird head proportion and shit so it makes sense on FF14 characters, plus is easy to comprehend how to model in 3D, then it should be fine. I don't have any screenshots or as evidence because why the fuck would I? But I specifically remember seeing something along those lines. Maybe the wording is a bit different, but that was the general gist. So I found the rule page and it does actually say in brackets required, and I'm pretty sure this was edited retroactively afterwards in the maybe the first initial week. This was not there, so Square Enix pulled a sneaky on the peoples, which is kind of a dick move, not gonna lie. It does seem suspicious though that they only picked hairs who used the Square provided template though. So if they were biased towards that, don't put that in the rules that you can use other templates. If you want, fucking pick them. Like, Yoshi P, you dumb fuck, get a grip before I grip your cock and use it as an entry for the next weapon competition. A little thing that I wanted to add to the end that came to me in a delusion towards the end of me writing the script, or like whatever the fuck you call these 5 words in my fucking Word document. It's actually crazy that Yoshi has this harsh stance on modding, but then they don't give people the tools they need / want to design their characters by making same ass hair and gear and all that other stuff for like 12 patches in a row now. Like, I get it, you like modern style gear, but like, I don't care about your 7th set of modern gear. Give me something else, and give healers something that isn't a white robe for once. So of course, if you starve people for choice, they will make their own choice. Why do you think half the game looks like an IMVU lobby? Exaggeration. Anyway, rant over, I guess. Can't wait for 1/6 of these hairs to get added by the end of 12.0 after the second graphics update, and it's crazy how Square can't give people real rewards for providing them with all this shit. Cause remember, they can still use all the entries that didn't win for free in their video game without compensating or crediting any of the artists. Genshin tried to do an art competition with shit rewards that one time got fucking cooked into the stratosphere, and Square been doing this shit for years with a literal turd on a hoop ring as a reward, and that shit crazy. But what do I know? I'm just a funky fox fella, not the Muhammad Ali of Law and Order. But you should sub like a butterfly and like a bee drone. I don't fucking know.